Spoilers for every Danganronpa game, but it makes sense why Hajime will be opposite to Byakuya in theory. Byakuya was the acting leader, so it makes sense that the first trial after he died, Hajime has to just stare at the portrait of him the entire time and kind of come to terms with the fact that they are doing this. In practice, however, Byakuya is mentioned only in one trial, and then the next time he's mentioned is in the 6th trial, so it kind of loses the importance. A contrast to this, in Danganronpa 1, opposite to Makoto was always an empty seat, and then at the end, Junko stands there, taking up the spot, so it like continues the mystery of the game. Over here, however, Byakuya being there kind of doesn't contribute to anything, because at the end of the game, Junko takes that spot. What I would have done is I would have put Nagito there. He is the primary antagonist slash derotagonist of this entire game. It also makes so much sense because Nagito is the one who in every trial will either contribute or actively foil everything Hajime is trying to do. So many times in the trial, Hajime will be like, what's he trying to tell me? What's he trying to say? Wouldn't that have so much more weight if Hajime is just looking him in the eye? And then in the 5th trial, you'd see just the portrait of Nagito face crossed off. Literally in chapter 4, you play as him, the only other perspective you'll get in this game. So it makes sense for him to stand there. And to Byakuya, what I would have done is put him where Akane is. Nagito's supposed to be kind of like the Makoto stand-in. So to parallel that, you put Nagito there and then put Byakuya where Byakuya was in the first game. Like, they don't even need to mention it, but it'd be like subtle storytelling to be like, hey, we're dropping these hints. Or alternatively, put Chiaki there. She is kind of the most important thing in Hajime's perspective. Wouldn't Class Trial 5 just had so much weight if at the end, when you're choosing who the traitor is, you just slowly go through everyone and then you reach the opposite side? Chiaki is like the second contributor for every trial, and she's Hajime's love interest, so why wouldn't you just put her opposite to him? Her being here makes sense only if you put Nagito on the other side of Byakuya. Also, in a meta perspective, putting Nagito and Chiaki so close to each other and then putting Hajime on the other side doesn't make sense because these two talk so much in every class trial and then Hajime is just standing alone on the other side. It just feels imbalanced. But again, if they put them at the 120 again, everyone's gonna be like, okay, so every Danganronpa game, the 120 is who's gonna talk the most. But if you put Chiaki or Nagito here, it would hold weight when Junko shows up and plops herself there too. Because then it becomes a thing of how dare you stand where they stood, you know? Like, she's standing where Chiaki would be. So like the most sweet, angelic person spot is taken by the cruelest person and the reason why they're in this mess in the first place. Or if Nagito's standing there, it would be the guy who yearns for hope the most is supplanted by the woman who gave them all despair. Also putting Akane and Fuyuhiko just on this side together, knowing that they're gonna survive. Like, I get that you don't want to put the survivors at equidistance, but don't put them next to each other. That just looks so awkward in all the trials. So yeah, Danganronpa 2 has the worst class trial placement. I hate it. Now let's move on to the 3rd game.